The invitation. I remember the night vividly, like a scar etched into my memory. The night I received the letter. The envelope was black, sealed with crimson wax, and bore no return address. At first, I thought it was some kind of prank. Who sends letters in this digital age? Yet something about the weight of it, the strange metallic scent, and the handwriting, elegant yet unnervingly sharp, drew me in. My name, Amelia Gray, was written in bold, looping script, almost as if the ink itself had been alive. Inside, the letter read, "Dearest Miss Gray, you are cordially invited to an exclusive dinner at Thornfield Manor this Saturday at 8 p.m. The feast will be a celebration of grandeur and tradition. Please wear your finest attire. A carriage will be sent to collect you. Yours sincerely, Lord Alaric Duval, Thornfield Manor." The name was as old as the town itself, whispered in hushed tones, a relic of an era long gone. Growing up, I'd heard all the stories of opulent parties, eerie music that floated through the forest, and a family that seemed untouched by time. But the manor had been abandoned for decades, or so I'd thought. I should have ignored it. But curiosity, or perhaps something deeper, compelled me. By the time Saturday evening arrived, I found myself standing at the end of my driveway, clad in a crimson gown, the color almost as deep as the wax seal that had summoned me. At precisely 7:30, the carriage arrived. It was a magnificent vehicle, its black frame glinting in the moonlight, drawn by two midnight black horses with glowing red eyes. The driver, an unnervingly tall man in a dark cloak, tipped his hat but said nothing as he opened the door for me. I hesitated for a heartbeat, then stepped inside. The ride through the forest was surreal. The trees loomed like skeletal fingers, their gnarled branches casting shadows that seemed to dance with a life of their own. The air grew colder the closer we got to the manor, and I swore I could hear faint whispers, though the driver's lips never moved. When the manor finally came into view, it took my breath away. Thornfield stood like a dark jewel amidst the wilderness, its towering spires piercing the starless sky. Every window glowed with a warm golden light, and the sound of faint laughter drifted on the wind. It was alive, thriving, but how? The driver helped me down, and before I could ask any questions, the massive oak doors creaked open. A man tall, pale, and unnervingly handsome stood in the doorway. His jet black hair was swept back, and his piercing gray eyes seemed to see straight through me. "Miss Gray," he said, his voice smooth as silk. "Welcome to Thornfield Manor. I am Lord Alaric Duval. Please come inside." Panic surged through me as the guests rose from their seats, their perfect faces twisting into something monstrous. Their eyes burned brighter, their teeth lengthening into razor-sharp fangs. I stumbled back, my mind racing for an escape. "Run," a voice whispered. It wasn't Alaric's. It came from nowhere and everywhere at once. "Run now." I didn't need to be told twice. I bolted toward the door, the hem of my gown tangling around my legs. Behind me, I heard the scrape of chairs, the growl of something inhuman, and the pounding of footsteps. The manor was a labyrinth, its hallways twisting and turning in ways that defied logic. Every door I tried was locked, every window barred. The whispers grew louder, guiding me through the maze. "This way," they urged. "Faster." Finally, I burst into a massive ballroom. The walls were lined with mirrors, their surfaces cracked and smeared with something dark. At the center stood a figure cloaked in shadows. It turned toward me, its eyes glowing a deep, unnatural green. "Who are you?" I demanded, my voice trembling. "A friend," it replied, stepping closer. The figure was a man, his features sharp yet kind, his skin pale as moonlight. "There's no time to explain. Take this." He handed me a dagger, its blade black as obsidian and etched with strange runes. It's the only thing that can stop them. Before I could ask what he meant, the doors burst open. Alaric and the others flooded in, their monstrous forms fully revealed. Their skin was ashen, their eyes glowing like fire, their mouths dripping with hunger. "Give her to us," Alaric snarled, his voice a guttural growl. "She belongs to us." The man stepped in front of me, raising his own blade. "Not tonight." What followed was chaos. The man moved with inhuman speed, his blade slicing through the air as he fought off the vampires. I clutched the dagger tightly, my mind screaming at me to run, but my body frozen in place. "Amelia!" he shouted, snapping me out of my stupor. "The mirrors! Break them!" I didn't understand why, but I obeyed. Grabbing a candelabra, I swung it at the nearest mirror. The glass shattered, and the vampires recoiled, their screams echoing through the room. I moved to the next mirror, and the next, each shatter weakening them further. Finally, only one mirror remained. Alaric lunged toward me, his claws outstretched, but the man intercepted him, driving his blade into the vampire's chest. With a final swing, I shattered the last mirror. The effect was instantaneous. The vampires let out a collective scream as their bodies disintegrated into ash. The room fell silent, save for the sound of my ragged breathing. When I turned to thank my savior, he was gone. All that remained was the dagger, lying on the floor where he'd stood. I stumbled out of the manor, the dawn's light breaking over the horizon. The carriage was gone, the forest eerily quiet. Thornfield Manor stood in ruins, as if the night's events had never happened. To this day, I don't know who the man was or why I was chosen, but I still have the dagger, its blade as sharp and mysterious as the night I received the invitation. And sometimes, in the dead of night, I hear whispers, reminding me that the darkness is never far behind.
Thank you for joining us on this journey through the vampire's curse. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more thrilling tales. Your support means the world to us. See you in the next story.